Corypheus's soldiers appear to be on the defensive.
Listen to how close the fighting's gotten. It will be worse ahead.
I hope you're right about this temple, Morrigan. I could use a building or two.
Do the woods discomfort you, Pavus?
It's mostly the people trying to cut our heads off that manage that.
Now that's a view. Get your blood going.
If the soldiers aren't careful with their fires, they'll do Corypheus's work for him.
One last push and we can lick our wounds. I wonder if Corypheus will show.
Come on, let's go plug some arseholes.
Were we just attacked by elves?
Elves wielding strange magic at that. Could you feel it?
It seems this temple of mythal is not deserted after all.
Perhaps these creatures are the reason few return from the Arbor Wilds.
Who were those elves? They didn't look Dalish.
Yeah, Dalish are a lot more chatty.
They're no friends to the Templars, that's for sure.
At least the bastards killed those Red Templars.
Those were Grey Wardens. They must be the last of those enslaved at Adamant.
Poor bastards. Corypheus has them dying by the dozen. We'll remember the men they were, and we'll avenge them.
If they are forced to obey him, death will be a blessing.
That or you got another set of wardens pissed at you somehow.
A most inglorious end. Still, if these puppet wardens show no mercy, neither can we.
There. That must be the Temple of Mythal.
Any chance Corypheus will finally grace us with his presence?
In front of us, rage burning red, so close to what he wants, what he was, what he will be.
The Temple of Mythal, constructed in an age when elves, not men, dominated this land. They believed Mythal a goddess of justice. Elves came here to request judgment, after they proved their worth.
Silence has reigned here for time beyond memory.
Elves built all this.
Before the Imperium destroyed it.
I want to know how Corypheus returned to life. We saw him die.
And his life force passes on to any blighted creature, darkspawn, or Grey Warden.
So that's how the bastard survived, Hawk.
Then Corypheus can't really die.
So how many times do we need to kill him? It's a small number, right?
For once, I'm relieved I'm not really a warden.
Perform a ritual to appease elven gods? Long dead or no, I don't like it.
So, good Andrastians, we offer a prayer to elven gods.
Oh, no. This is bad. Rituals are bad. You can't want this.
If need be, unless you wish to turn back.
Not much of a lock if all you do is step on it.
'Tis a ritual, not a barred door. There is more here than earthly treasure.
There, the ritual is complete. It is where they paid fealty to the gods. I have seen it, in the Fade. Only the reverent were permitted to touch this ground, and only in solemn contemplation.
So, what now?
The whispers are louder. It wants to say something, but I can't hear it.
So can we go, now?
Why would this be here?
Something wrong?
It depicts the dread wolf, Fen-Harel. In elven tales, he tricks their gods into sealing themselves away in the beyond for all time. Setting Fen-Harel in Mythal's greatest sanctum is as blasphemous as painting Andraste naked in the chantry.
Some chantries display statues of Andraste's betrayer Mafarath as part of the chant.
It might fulfill a similar function, a reminder of vigilance for the faithful.
For all your knowledge, Lady Morrigan, you cannot resist giving legend the weight of history. The wise do not mistake one for the other.
Pray tell, what meaning does our elven expert sense lurking behind this?
None we can discern by staring at it.
You two look like you're about to kiss when you argue.
'Tis time we pressed forward.
Agreed.
We can send for historians once peace is brought to this forest.
The inhabitants of this temple may not appreciate guests.
Who is this meant to be?
Falon'Din, overseer of funerals and guide to the elven dead. I have heard the Dalish invoke him on their deathbed, or before quests from which they expect no return.
My clan's hunters asked for his blessing when we fought bandits. Our keeper taught them the prayers.
How different from the ones sung here, I wonder.
I do not believe they sing songs about Falon'Din's vanity.
Do you know any legends?
It is said Falon'Din's appetite for adulation was so great, he began wars to amass more worshippers. The blood of those who wouldn't bow low filled lakes as wide as oceans. Mythal rallied the gods once the shadow of Falon'Din's hunger stretched across her own people. It was almost too late. Falon'Din only surrendered when his brethren bloodied him in his own temple.
My clan never told a story like that about Falon'Din.
The further the Dalish spread, the further their stories branch and grow. Never mistake them for arbiters of true elven culture.
Did ancient elves believe all their gods so terrifying?
Yes, I believe they did.
At last, Mythal's sanctum. Let us proceed before Corypheus interferes.
Why is Lumpy after a sorrow well or whatever? Weren't we after some Poncy mirror?
Yes, indeed. We all heard Corypheus say he came for the Well of Sorrows, not an Eluvian.
I am uncertain of what he referred to.
Could they be the same? Could alluvian translate into Well of Sorrows?
No, it seems an alluvian is not the prize Corypheus seeks.
You're not certain. You said you knew what he was looking for.
Confidence can carry one only so far, it seems.
Come on, we might catch them.
Hold a moment. While they rush ahead, this leads to our true destination. We should walk the petitioner's path as before.
People are dying outside while we stand here. If we use the tunnel, more of our soldiers can flee.
You forget that army fighting for us out there? Longer we play around, the more Inquisition soldiers die. There's a hole. Jump in.
Lady Morrigan was wrong about Corypheus seeking an Eluvian. Do we trust her now? While we dally with rituals, Inquisition soldiers die outside these walls. Down is swifter.
An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place.
You've an army dying out there, Inquisitor. We're wasting time fiddling with this magic. If jumping down will get us out faster, we should do it.
We'd have to figure it out first, right? While Inquisition soldiers die in the forest, the faster we get out of here, the more people go home.
Right, slow down. Give the baddies a chance. That's fair and dumb. If we're going in, let's get in. Jump already.
Performing these rituals may mean the difference between reaching the well before Corypheus's minions and not at all.
We don't know what's behind those doors. They might have a reason for going another way.
Had they the option, they would have proceeded. That must lead to their goal.
Their goal? Or yours?
I am called Abelas. We are sentinels, tasked with standing against those who trespass on sacred ground.
So you're elves from ancient times? Before the Tevinter Imperium destroyed Arlathan?
The Shemlen did not destroy Arlathan. We Elven warred upon ourselves. By the time the doors to this sanctuary closed, our time was over.
Wait, that's not right. What are you saying?
You would not know truth. Shemlen history is as short as the pool of your years.
What did the Imperium do then? Are you saying it wasn't a war?
The war of carrion feasting upon a corpse, yes. If these others are enemies of yours, we will aid you in destroying them. When this is done, you shall be permitted to depart. And never return.
This is our goal, is it not? There is no reason to fight these sentinels.
I'll admit the idea of fighting the last of their kind does not thrill me.
So they can stab us in the back afterwards? Stuff that.
I do not trust them. We know not what they'll do once the battle is over.
Consider carefully. You must stop Corypheus, yes, but you may also need the well for your own.
That was unnecessary. A pointless waste of life.
I thought ancient beings were supposed to be wise. Apparently humans aren't the only stubborn fools on this continent.
Sleep, protect, serve. So little of them left, but still they were afraid to lose it.
How old could they be if they died so stupid? Right?
How many centuries have they guarded this place? Only to be gutted for no good reason.
I didn't make them attack Solus. They're the ones clinging to their pointless duty.
Pointless, is it? This is their land, not yours.
We had to come to stop Corypheus. You followed me here.
Yes. So I did.
Such a waste. To live through eternity, only to end up like that.
Then perhaps you should have agreed to his deal.
I should have trusted his so-called deal.
Why not? Did he not seem honorable?
He's a guardian, trying to eliminate one group of invaders before the next.
You don't know that. If we'd completed the rituals, perhaps the Sentinels would have been open to discussion.
Would you risk our lives on it?
No, I would not.
One stayed behind. Our guide, I suppose.
That's helpful, since Morrigan chased off on her own.
Dear Morrigan left to use the well herself, undoubtedly.
She turned into a bird.
He said the elves destroyed themselves before my countrymen came along. Could that be true? I can hardly believe it.
This place is like a maze.
It is a maze. This Well of Sorrows was clearly not for the common man.
You surprised? This temple doesn't exactly roll out welcome mats.
Can you hear that ahead? People whispering.
Elfie elves didn't want normal people near their precious well.
Be ready. These elven sentinels will know every turn.
There better be something good at the end of this.
Let's follow the sound of the fighting. That usually works for us.
This place looks untouched.
The entire temple must have looked like this long ago. How could the elves pour such devotion into this nonsense?
We can always ask our hosts.
I will leave that to you.
You have any idea how much this place is worth?
Don't let Solus hear you say that.
Admit it. You were wondering. You have any idea how much this place is worth?
We did not come to cart off the last of elven glory.
I'm just saying.
I've seen Orlesian palaces with less gold. What did the ancient elves do here?
Perhaps it was meant to kindle a sense of awe in visitors.
Well, it's working.
The Sentinels are holding against the Venatori.
We should hurry. Their numbers are not endless.
Count your blessings we're not still fighting both at the same time.
How tragic. Our elven friends might exhaust themselves here.
Glad we're not between them.
Good for something, I guess, if they keep it up.
Abalas gave us his word.
Well, good for Dusty Butt.
They're dying faster than they wanted to.
I see the Venatori have already encountered the temple's guardians.
Charming. My countrymen don't make friends easily, do they?
Looks like an ambush. Impressive work.
Those elves lay an impressive ambush. Where are they?
A just death for these mages. But where are the killers?
Preparing another display of hospitality, no doubt.
You know what? These elves are starting to scare me.
The mages trespassed on their sacred ground.
So are we. I'm just saying.
They hurt themselves for years to get stronger, but they still die so easily.
Perhaps we shall fare better.
Anything good on them?
Rummage their corpses, by all means.
The Well of Sorrows.
Finally!
Maker's balls.
So mythal endures.
It's loud and so cold.
Andraste, guide us.
That's... something.
How has such magic lasted?
Not the well, you wretch. You can't take it from Corypheus. You mustn't.
He's still breathing.
Still alive? Huh? That's some damn good armor.
Still breathing after all that. Impressive.
He's not ready to go yet.
Stubborn fool. The last of their kind, and this is what it comes to.
He was defending all that was left of what once was.
And would have happily buried us in the process.
What would you have done? Backed into a corner?
You don't think maybe we were the bad guys?
I'm sorry.
Well, it's done.
That it is. I am willing to pay the price the well demands. I am also the best suited to use its knowledge in your service.
Or more likely to your own ends.
What would you know of my ends, elf?
You are a glutton drooling at the sight of a feast. You cannot be trusted.
Do not trust her, Inquisitor. She's a parasite, only here because she sensed a meal more hearty than you.
Said by one whose only motive for joining the Inquisition was altruism.
Is it altruism or sense not to plunge headfirst into a power you don't remotely understand?
Why should I be refused when the reasons to allow it are sound?
I do not like this. She is far too eager.
I do not hide it. To restore lost knowledge, I would risk much.
And what would you do with it? You could be worse than Corypheus.
So, paralyze yourself for fear of what might be? I can give nothing but my word. Of those present, I alone have the training to make use of this. Let me drink, Inquisitor.
You alone? You're not the only mage here. What about you, Dorian?
A human from Tevinter scoops up the last bits of Elven knowledge? I know why you ask. I know it's important, but I can't be that man.
What about you, Solus?
No. Do not ask me again.
What about you, Vivienne?
If anyone, it should be you. The mark on your hand may protect you.
Thoughts?
She is right about only one thing. We should take the power which lies in that well.
I don't want to risk losing you to a well.
I do not know. If there is risk to you...
I won't lose you. Let the witch use the well.
I would not trust the power in that well with anyone but you, my dear.
It all seems ghoulish. Let Morrigan use it, if she wants it so much.
If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all.
I trust you with this power more than her. But it's not for me to decide.
It's called the Well of Sorrows. Sorrows? No one should go in the Well of Sorrows.
You're asking me? This is a lot of weird... I barely understand how any of this works.
So many voices. They would be in your head, talking over you. You don't want them.
Any chance this well could help us against Corypheus? I say you take it.
Maker, please, don't let it end this way.
Festis by Ulmo Carnavarum. If you don't come through this, I swear I'll kill you.
My lady, oh Maker, let her keep breathing.
Inquisitor! Inquisitor!
Shiny? If you're dead, I'll kill you.
Is it over? Is he coming round? I knew this would happen.
Breathing. That's good. Let's keep that up.
I knew no good would come of this.
Inquisitor? Can you hear me?
There. Our intrepid leader's coming round.
Wake up from your good decision, stupid.
Not dead. Well, that's a relief. So, good? Bad? I'm dying to know.
How do you feel?
So, you've got a head full of damp whatever. How's that feel?
That looked rough. How do you feel?
Inquisitor, how do you feel?
Warn us before you do that again, my dear. How do you feel?
Hey, how'd that work out for you, Kadan? You feeling good?
Ask me again once I've had a chance to think about it. It's here. I can feel it.
Yes. I feel it as well.
It is. Look for an altar, ancient but still standing.
Are you certain it's still in one piece?
There seems to be nothing out here but wilderness.
You sure? There aren't any runes in these parts.
I can hear it. It's calling to you.
Probably just a pile of rocks.
This is all that's left of the altar. We few who travel far, call to me and I will come. Without mercy, without fear.
This ritual. Should we leave you alone?
Do you need help, or should we leave?
Should we go? I think we should go.
Do you need to do this alone?
Would it be better if we left, my dear?
You want us to piss off so you can get to it?
You want us to stick around, or should we leave?
Right, I'm out.
I have my dragon.
You stared it down. You actually stared it down.
If I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't have believed it.
And now it flies off, just like that.
Okay. Yeah, that was impressive.
Why did it fly off? Will it come back?
It will come when I summon it. Once.
So when we find him, we'll fight between two dragons. Mad plan. Love it.
Did none of you hear what happened?
We didn't hear a thing, so we came back. It was too quiet.
What's to hear? It's been dead boring. You done yet?
It was very loud, but not outside, only in. Then it was very quiet, so we came back. I'm glad you aren't dead.
Did something happen? We returned because it was too quiet.
Huh? It was dead quiet. We only came to look because we thought you'd gone.
It was complete silence, my dear. We returned when we grew suspicious.
Something happened. There were only crickets and birds where we stood.
Something happened. Got tired of waiting for nothing, so we came back.
Nothing. We only returned because I felt something.